Hi everybody, welcome to the American Idiot. This is another special one. We're going to be doing a game review for Mount and Blade for my video game design class. Cue the theme. So some of you probably are wondering, why am I doing a game review as a special for the American Idiot? This is for my video game design class. We have to review Mount and Blade. I do believe I told you guys about it in episode 2. We had to do a review, but we had to make it unique and professional. So I was thinking I could write it down like an article, but there are so many articles out there and all of them look the same. Why not just do a video review of it? So we are going to be doing it on Mount and Blade. Mount and Blade is an amazing game. It is a hard to describe, almost like an RTS action adventure. If you're an archer, first-person shooter, all this crazy stuff, but it is an amazing game. The world is like pretty much any fantasy world you have ever seen, yet unlike it completely. It is extremely large. It is a very huge map. It's beautiful how big it is and just how much there is in it. It's different than most fantasy games because many, if not all, fantasy games have some sort of magic that you use through the game. Like Fable, Sacred, you have Dragon Age, Origins. All these different games just have magic somewhere in with it, or something that have like superpowers to do any of these moves. Not so with Mount and Blade. Mount and Blade is purely medieval fighting with no magic whatsoever. There is no flaming trebuchets, no shooting of the fireballs out of your palms or anything like that. It's a good old hack and slash, get through all these guys kind of deal. But it's even more than that. You are not all powerful at the very beginning of the game. You are actually quite weak. Even though you have a horse, the horse is a godsend. Quick, agile, you can get around any ground troops you want, and plus it makes all your attacks extremely powerful. Only problem I do have with the horse, though, is it seems almost too powerful. The foot soldiers seem to be lacking so much that if a horseman goes against, if you're on foot and you face a horseman, you're going to get knocked down. Unless, of course, you're an ultra high level and have tons of HP and awesome armor where you can't really get hurt too bad. It negates being a foot soldier, and you will always want to be on a horse just from the amount of help it gives you. But as I mentioned before, the maps are large, extremely large, and not only are the maps large, so are the armies. You could be facing up to a total of 100 guys on one battlefield, fighting and charging at each other, mauling. It's a complete chaos. It's insane. It's beautifully done, though. You can be going against hundreds of soldiers attacking you, and kings and giant horse charges and all this really awesome stuff. But not only will your enemies have a lot of troops, so will you. Because you can get just as many, even more, than what they have. And to get men, it's fairly simple. Go into a village and just recruit them straight out of there. Just be like, hey, you want to be in my army? And they'll be like, sure, dude, why not? You can also go into taverns, hire mercenaries, or you'll find secondary heroes that are NPCs, follow you loyally wherever you want to go, and are basically almost mini-yous. Give armor to that you can regulate what their strengths and weaknesses will be. Usually it depends on how you first meet them, but you can change it. So like say you meet some guy that's not very good at fighting, but really good at trading or something like that. Hire him in, do tons of fighting with him by your side, so that way he gets tons of XP. And then when he levels up, just be giving him warrior perks and stuff like that, like proficiency with a sword. Or with all these characters on the battlefield at once, though, how do you control such a mass? They do have an RTS element to it where you can give commands to certain troops. You can tell your archers, stand back here, fire at the enemy, while my infantry guys go forward, and when they get close, I'm going to tell you to stop, and they're going to start kicking some butt. And then we'll bring in the cavalry from the flank and just rail them hard. It does have a tactical aspect to it. However, I kind of feel it could have been a little bit better done. Actually, considering it, it does seem to follow pretty well to actual medieval wars. I mean, ways they had to communicate were trumpets, drums, and just the yelling of people's voices. So, a game where it gives you tactical command, but limited tactical command, actually makes quite a bit of sense for a medieval game. However, I have also been known to just completely ignore the tactical part of it and just charge my guys in, and usually I would overwhelm them with superior numbers, or usually I would I have an army filled with cavalry and they just charge right through and demolish all these guys. But probably one of the best things about the game is the dynamic characters in the game itself. You can sit back and it will play itself. It is amazing. I came across a fairly vast kingdom, and a while later came back and half of it was totally taken over by another kingdom, and I had no clue this was happening because I was on the other side of the map and all this stuff. And I come back around, these guys acted independently from me. I had no influence over them whatsoever. They just attacked, took over all these cities, all these castles, all these villages by themselves. They did not need a cue from me to start slaughtering them down. So it is really amazing system how they have this working. It actually feels like, holy cow, I am in this game. And let me tell you, Epic does not even describe the castle sieges and stuff like that. That is probably one of the best parts of the game that I love, is sieging or defending your castle. Castle battles are amazing. It's all on foot from there. You're going to have to use different tactics than what you would be using on a conventional battlefield. And also, they're all going to be coming up a narrow little ramp or ladder or something like that. So they're going to be bottlenecked right there. You could have 80 people against 300 troops, and you could still win with barely any casualties just because of that little bottleneck. And it makes it that much more intense of a battle then, too. Because you can look out, and there are 300 people lined up across the screen, charging up this ladder at you, and you're just thinking, oh man, how are we ever going to win this thing? This is really the first time I've done a video review, so hopefully it was good. And to all my YouTube listeners, I'll be seeing you on a bi-weekly basis now because of schoolwork and all this other stuff. So, sorry about that. Again, thank you for watching. Thank you guys for all your patience. And sorry I couldn't give you the tweet of the week or the YouTube video of the week. That's going to have to be next episode. Leave your comments, leave whatever. Friends, subscribe, and I will be seeing you guys next episode. See you later.